what was the promise that got that band room filled up when it comes to the Chicago State Pep Band? Now, I want to be clear before you begin to tell your side
Right.
that there is a difference between that Chicago State Pep Band of was that 2008,
Mm-hmm.
2009, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
versus the current Chicago State University Marching Band.
Yes,
Um,
big difference.
so go ahead.
So, okay, well, that's just a background. Summer of 2006, we were practicing at Thule Park. And while we were outside, we had the conditions, so we were marching around and planning things outside. Um, the neighborhood kids would constantly bother our dancers and things that we had at the time, or just our girls in the band, period. And that
Mm,
became an unsafe situation. So I end up, Stephanie was attending Chicago State at the time, and she set me up with Mark Smith, who was over the music department. And went and talked to him. I explained the program, showed him, documentation of what we do and things. And he really was intrigued. Of course, we didn't have any money. We were non for profit. We just kids trying to do something, So we didn't have any funding. So met with him. He liked what we did. Our trade off to them was that we would perform as their pep band for the first year that we're at Chicago State. They weren't going to charge us any fees or anything, so we would be their pep band. We said, oh, cool, that's a good deal. They got us T-shirts. They bought a couple of instruments for us to play. We started off small in number. We were always small. Windy City was always small in number. So the first year we were performing as the pep band. The basketball team liked us. Mark came and checked us out. He liked what we did and all that stuff. Cool. Then coming towards the second year, after coming off that summer break, that's when we started getting rumors or word of that they wanted to pay us stipends of so much money to be their pep band. So we're like, okay, cool. So now I'm looking at it as, okay, so not only is Windy City going to have numbers, but now we have a stronger possibility of becoming Chicago State's marching band, because we were also petitioning to be Chicago State's marching band at that time. So, they gave us a promise of a stipend. We did so many games and rehearsals, and near the end of the season, when we found out that there was no money, there was no stipend, there was no nothing. It was just a hoax that appeared out of the blue or whatever.
mm.
So we kept some numbers up until the very last game of that season, 2009, and then at that point it was kind of like, I guess we have to call it stops from here or something,
Yeah.
So that was that.
Would you say that stipend issue was something that had to do with the music department specifically, or whose responsibility, or who do we place blame at the foot of?
Honestly, I don't know who to place the blame for, because at that particular time, I did not have that conversation as far as stipends. Me personally, I was always against paying anybody to come and play. If you can't come for the love of it, we're not going to pay you to do it, because now you're only here for the money. Once the money is dry, you out the door. So I'm not going to waste my time, talking about money, paying anybody. So I never had that conversation, so I can't tell you who, where, what, and why.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And that's to kind of go back to that night. I remember it was a band room full. I mean, it was jam packed in there,
Mm-hmm.
and Alex Flowers is the one who stood in front of everybody and was like, "Look, sorry, but what you thought you were going to get, you're not going to be able to get." And so,
Right.
if you're still willing to stay, then we're glad to have you. And
Mm-hmm.
if not, then we understand.
Right.
And personally, I looked at it like, well, this first off, I was like, this really messed up, just because
Yeah.
why is Alex being up there, standing there by himself like that? There should be somebody. Mind you, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Chicago State University student at the time myself, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, nah, this ain't right. Why is nobody, no head of the department, or some type of administrator
Mm-hmm.
there, or somebody? But it shouldn't be this guy coming all the way from the west suburbs,
Mm-hmm.
and standing in front of standing in front of all these people. But
Right.
you said that was your mentality, is don't pay if you're not here for the love of it. Why come at all?
Mm-hmm.
Does that translate also to off of Chicago State? Just
Mm-hmm.
generally speaking, scholarships. That's kind of exactly what that is. Where some people don't have it to travel, and
Right.
they are dependent on money in order to even be able to get to school and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to do that, because
Right.
it's either I stay here and get this scholarship money, or I need
Mm-hmm.
to go and get a job and I won't be able to play.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I do remember we did last around a little while. We actually did perform at Chicago State's band. I have a banner and everything. I'll show you the picture of it really quick. But we had a banner. We started a program. It was in our conversation. We were going to be I can't find it now. But we were going to be Chicago State's band. It was going to be like a extracurricular activity or something like that, and they would have us listed as the band program for an additional credit to the student if they were a student of Chicago State. But the problem we ran into was we didn't have a degree director at the time. All of our directors were no degree, or they were already in school as a music major. So we didn't have a director for that then. The director, I'm not saying the names, but the person who could have been our director at the time was not looking to do any marching band activity whatsoever. So we could not go that route. And we just chose to try it as we could. But I think that just, so it led into when we started to perform, when we got the petition to be their band, when we started to perform as their band, it was what was told us, they would give us scholarships to attend. Whatever members wanted to attend Chicago State, they would give us scholarships for that. But of course, that fell through. I think they had a new president coming in. Something was going on at the top of their head at that time, and so all that fell through.